and welcome to Ottawa Eats. I'm your host, Tom Schoch. One of the best things about food is that it brings family together. And today we're part of a family restaurant. It's Vittoria in the Village, or Vittoria Trattoria. You may have heard of it before. And we're going to talk to somebody who's, well, basically been influenced by his grandmother, or Nona, with her wooden spoon, and has decided to put this together. It's amazing. Today on Ottawa Eats, Vittoria in the Village. Hi, and welcome to Ottawa Eats. I'm your host, Tom, and this is the lovely Dom. Our names rhyme.
Hi, how are you, Dom and Tom?
That's how we worked it out. We're going to do a radio show later on. Absolutely. It's coming to a radio near you, probably not. But what you do real well is food, and this is a beautiful place that you have here, so tell the fine folks at home where we are and what you do.
We are at Vittoria in the Village, the newest concept in the Vittoria Trattoria group of companies. We're at 309 Richmond Road in the heart of Westboro.
All right, so now if people are coming here for the very first time, what kind of food are you going to stuff in their face?
Italian food,
right.
Lovely Italian food with seafood kind of influence. We have taken what was here before, which was La Pointe fish, and incorporated a bunch of the seafood elements into our Italian flair.
Now you did mention that this is one of the locations, so where are the other ones?
There's a Vittoria Trattoria in the Byward Market at 35 William Street, and there's a Vittoria Trattoria at 3625 Rivergate in Hunt Club.
Now before we started the show, you told me something that your grandmother lived till she was 100?
She lived until she was 100.
Okay.
She is our inspiration. She is kind of our icon, and she taught us everything.
So two quick questions. How much of the menu or the sauces or all this stuff is based on what she did in the kitchen? Some of it? None of it?
A good part of it.
Okay.
And we use that as our base. We actually now have our tomato sauce jarred, and it's being sold in various retail locations in Ottawa.
Okay, so you want a taste of Grandma's cooking. You can actually take it home with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
We have arrabbiata sauce, and we have a tomato basil, and we have a line of sauces and dressings coming out sometime in 2016.
All right, very cool. Now, the second question, you told me your age off camera. I won't say what it is.
It's 25.
98. But you look so young, so is this like the fountain of youth, this sauce, the cooking?
The sauce is a fountain of youth. I think Mediterranean cooking, Italian cooking adds longevity. We use fresh ingredients. We use olive oils, tomatoes, fresh fish.
Yeah, the fresh stuff, the good stuff, the wholesome stuff. Real quick, where did you get your start? Because it's not like you just said, oh, I'm going to open up multiple restaurants at the same time.
We started actually in 1992. We opened the first Vittoria Trattoria on Bank Street in the Glebe. My sister, myself, my brother, and my grandmother cooking, serving, doing everything that needed to get done.
Real family business then.
Yeah, pretty much started right out of university.
Wow.
Fear is a great motivator to learn how to do stuff. Plus, my grandmother with the wooden spoon chasing us didn't hurt.
Does that still happen in the back? Are you now the wooden spoon wielder?
I can't say that on camera. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Some people would be upset. You know, unions and such and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
All right. So we're gonna hop in the kitchen. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A little taste of Grandma's cooking is what we're gonna have
Nona,
today.
not Nona.
Nona.
Yeah, Nona.
Okay. The proper name.
Yeah.
Nona's cooking.
Well, there's
in
a
the
dish
kitchen.
after her name on there.
Well, we'll have to have that too. This is Matt. He's the head chef. Matt, I like your haircut. It's very nice. Did you do that haircut earlier today?
Fresh one for today, yeah?
Yeah, it's very shiny. I just got the stubble.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, stubble or the shine?
I can't go stubble anymore.
No?
It's a little more difficult in winter. You can't keep a toque on though
Yeah,
when you don't
that's
have any stubble. But
yeah, this is a show about hair, apparently, and food. So, Matt, where did you come from? So, you didn't just hop into this kitchen and say, I'm going to start cooking. So, you must have got your training or the love of cooking from somewhere. So, where did that come from?
I would say that I started off when I was 18, washing dishes at a restaurant in Canada, and I just kept going from there. Moved out west, worked at a lot of high volume, came back to Ottawa. It's the first job I got when I got back, and I've been working for Dom now for the last 15 years.
Okay, do you want to just level with me? He's not really listening right now. Is he actually a nice guy? Or
No,
is
he's honestly probably the best, well, in my limited experience of 15 years, I guess, he's probably the best guy I've ever worked for by far. And that is leveling with
So
you.
we'll talk about what you really think when the camera's
When
off.
the camera's gone, yeah.
It's about fair. We're going to make 3 amazing dishes here, and you've already got me excited because we talked about it a little bit before the actual show started. So what's the first one that we're going to do here?
We're going to do a linguini Sofia. So
Okay.
we've got, we're going to render up some pancetta. We've got some wild mushrooms, baby spinach, and we're going to top it off with some goat cheese and throw some garlic in there for a little flavor.
Okay, so is this is one of the signature dishes that you're probably going to find
Yeah.
on the menu here?
Yeah, I put this one on about 3 or 4 years ago as a summer special, and it flew, so we decided to put it on the menu, and it's continuing to sell well, so
right.
it's one of my favorites.
Okay, so what's step number 1 in putting all this together?
Okay, well, start off, we're going to get our olive oil a little hot. So you have to watch the steps in this dish because everything kind of cooks at different times. You want limp bacon basically,
Right.
and burnt mushrooms or burnt garlic. So we start with the rendering of the pancetta. Usually this heats up a little faster on a Friday night or a Saturday night when everything is already,
Full flying.
yeah,
Yeah.
things are a lot hotter at that point. So
I've asked this question before of many chefs that we've had on the show here, so I'm going to put you on the spot, okay? So what is your best dish that you've ever had? You didn't make it, but the best meal that you've ever had. What was it?
and
And
best
where
thing
was
I've ever
it?
had.
It's a tough question.
It is
And
a
I'm going to
tough
ask you what the
question.
worst one is, too. If you can think of the worst
Okay.
one quicker, sometimes that's easier.
You know
for
what? The
people to
worst
know.
one's a lot easier to remember for sure.
Okay, what was the worst one?
I hope my neighbor's not watching this.
Oh.
But, I would say fish sticks at the age of 4. That kind of threw me off fish for
Good long
quite a
while?
while, good long
yeah.
while.
I had a vanilla cake around the same age,
yeah.
and it really, it turned me off vanilla cake for quite
Yeah.
some time. I couldn't eat dessert. Probably better for my shape, but whatever.
Yeah.
So what was the best one then? What was the best meal that you ever
geez. Can I name the restaurant if I?
had? If you want, yeah,
If I
it
want?
can be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter.
I would say I went and had liver at Joe Beef in Montreal, and I never would have thought I would have liked it. I had a couple glasses of wine, so I ordered it anyway because it sounds so good.
Right?
And I got halfway through it before I even realized I was eating liver.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
For a lot of people, liver is like a no-go
Yeah,
area.
it still is for me, but it was good that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it the wine or the liver?
A little combination, I'd say. So it's good. So it's starting to render. When it's about halfway there, I'll usually add the mushrooms to give them a go.
So why use olive oil and why not just have the pancetta in there without anything at all?
Because you know what? By the time I put these mushrooms in, everything's going to soak up.
Okay.
I usually don't use that much olive oil when I'm putting it in there. But as soon as I add the mushrooms, not that it's that time, don't So the mushrooms pretty much soak most of it up at that point. So,
Wow, that's quick.
and there still has to be a little for the sauce as well, right? So it's starting to go. So I pretty much starting with the garlic now.
So why put the garlic in now and not right
I
off
find
the
it
beginning?
just burns too fast if you put it in too early. These are fairly new stoves, so they're pretty hot.
Okay.
Okay. Hit it with a little bit of wine. Get it off for a second. Throw my spinach in. Take. I'll still get that hot. Give the pasta a second to heat up a little bit.
So somebody asked me this the other day. Pans in kitchens, professional kitchens,
Yeah.
never ever are made out of wood or plastic, and they're always metal. Why?
For pans?
Yeah. Why do you never see a plastic handle on
Oh, on a handle. Well, a lot of these things need to go in the oven, right?
Right, okay.
So if you're ever finishing off like a fish dish or something, it's got to go right in the oven.
Plastic is a little burny.
It's a little burnt. You know what? A lot of them come with plastic handles, but they don't last very long in the kitchen, so they end up. We end up using our rags. So that's pretty much it. Season it up. Don't usually like to leave it in too long. The spinach kind of freshens this dish up, so if it gets too wilty.
Wow, it smells great. It's got that nice rich aroma from the wine too.
Yeah. You just finish it up. A little truffle oil.
Love truffle oil. I could probably drink that, but I won't. I hear it's expensive.
Yeah, it gets up there, yeah. Little goat cheese. And that is pretty much it.
Again, this is something that we've talked about on the show quite a bit, that some of the best dishes are the simplest dishes. You're not making it really complicated. It's just straightforward kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So there you go. So if people are looking for this on the menu, this is?
The linguini Sofia.
There you go. Ottawa Eats. This smells amazing. So during the commercial break, we had a substitution call because apparently Matt needed a beer. So this is Scott. Scott, thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Maybe in the last segment we'll actually have like somebody we've already had on the show before. We just maybe find some random person off the street. What do you think?
That sounds like a good point.
Okay. All right. So Scott is a sous chef here. What are we making today with you?
We're going to make our salmon with Mediterranean quinoa salad.
All right. Now, we did hear from Dom that you do have a lot of Mediterranean type of influences here. Now, salmon itself, is that something that you're pretty comfortable working with, or is that something that you really had to kind of learn how to not overcook it? Because it's pretty easy to overcook a salmon.
It is. It's a bit of a fatty fish, so it does have some moisture in it. It's something I have cooked many times before, so I'm pretty comfortable cooking it now.
All right. What's the first step in putting this all together?
Well, first step is we have our salmon here. It's fresh Atlantic salmon, and what I do is I just take a bit of canola oil and then a bit of salt and pepper, and then we just give it a little pat, make sure it's all good.
This is for grilling?
Yeah. This is for the grill.
Okay.
It goes right on the grill.
If you're grilling salmon at home on a barbecue, is it a good idea to put canola oil on it if you're going to do something like that?
It's always a good idea. Basically, with any type of meat, just it'll help prevent it from sticking, of course. And
you're really just going for that nice grill mark kind of look? Is that what you're looking for?
And I find something with fish, you don't want to over-sear it. Like a steak is good, get some nice color on it, but fish is a little more delicate, so you don't want to get it too dark.
Right. Now, would you do the other side, the side that the skin's on, or no?
You could do the side of the skin and get it nice and crisp.
Yeah.
And that's a great way, but not everybody likes to eat the skin.
Right.
So we don't serve it with the skin here.
Okay. And that is a thick piece of salmon as well.
Yes, it's a nice meaty piece. So we got our grill marks there, and then we just give it a little glaze. It's a honey Dijon and dill glaze. So we just spoon that on.
And just the smell of it has that nice grilled, almost barbecue-like smell to it as well.
Yeah, it gives it a great kind of smoky flavor. So then we go right into the oven with it. All right, and that'll take about 6 to 7 minutes. So while that's in there, we'll start our quinoa salad. It's a salad, but it's a warm salad. So start off with a bit of butter. Then we go in with some olives, a bit of artichoke, sticking with the Mediterranean theme, some diced tomato, a bit of peppers and zucchini, some green onion, and some spinach. So we'll just cook that a little bit. Give it a little bit of seasoning.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes. Yep.
What was your first experience with quinoa? Do you remember the first time you had it? Because this was one of those foods, I guess you could call it a more modern food for a lot of us here.
It's it's only become really popular over the past couple years, and it wasn't until I started working at this restaurant that I've actually ever cooked quinoa. So
Oh, really?
this is the first time. Yeah.
Is there a type of food that's become, I guess you could say, trendy today that you're going, I can't get on board with that? Couscous.
Couscous, I'm a fan of couscous.
Oh, really?
I'm open to try basically any kind of food out there.
I don't know if I should chew couscous.
Yeah.
Because it's so small, I feel like
Yeah.
I just eat it like a pill.
I guess you could just inhale it, basically.
Yeah, I eat like a duck. That's a good point. Very good point, Scott.
Okay, so
All right.
just gently warming that up. And we'll hit it with a bit of white wine here. Let that cook away. Now that it's nice and cooked down, we'll add our quinoa in. And at this point, it's already warm enough, so we can just turn off the heat, toss it all together. And then we have our dressing. It's a roasted tomato vinaigrette we make here in-house.
Very nice.
And that's
That's your warm quinoa salad,
the
essentially.
warm quinoa salad.
Right.
Goes with this salmon.
And most people, when they're cooking something like this, they would leave the burner on, but you don't need to because the heat's already there.
Yeah, it's already got the residual heat all throughout the veggies, so it's just basically warming it. It doesn't necessarily need to be burning hot. To go along with the salmon as well, we have this red pepper puree. So it's just basically red peppers, a bit of stock, just cooked down and then pureed.
It's not spicy, it's...
No, it's just a sweet red bell pepper.
Okay.
Just gives it a nice color to the plate. And just warm it up lightly. And we could start the plate. So we have our plate here. A little ring mold for our quinoa. We'll give this. Quinoa goes in. Just finish it with the salmon.
Wow.
And then it gets topped with some goat cheese.
That is a beautiful looking dish.
And just to give it a little more pop, I like to give it a bit of microgreens just scattered around the plate.
Now, Scott, I'm going to ask you another personal question. Is this how you got your girlfriend?
It's maybe had a little something to do with it.
All right, so people are looking for this on the menu. What is this?
This is our glazed salmon with a Mediterranean quinoa salad.
Beautiful. Great work.
Thank you.
All right, so Matt's done his beer. How was it?
That was great.
Okay, so tag in. There you
There
go.
we go, I'm
He's
ready.
back in. So we're going to make something here that's an appetizer that's pretty interesting because, well, it involves alcohol.
It does.
Actually, the first two dishes also had alcohol.
Yeah, just
And you
whatever.
had alcohol while Scott was...
I had a couple of drinks, yeah. They were just fast, but
So tell me why... No, never mind. We already had the personal questions on the show. So what is this that we're making exactly?
we're making a Sambuca shrimp.
All right.
The over puff pastry. There's some grape tomatoes, a little bit of tarragon, some baby spinach.
Okay.
Nice
And
little dish.
alcohol, obviously, right?
Obviously the Sambuca, yeah.
Okay, that's very important.
Yeah.
Why Sambuca?
You know what? It's sweet. It's everyone loves it. It goes well with seafood.
Okay. Well, what's the first step in putting this together?
First step, well, we'll start with just a little bit of butter.
It's nice how I asked you earlier about the plastic handles. Now this one has a plastic handle.
these are new.
So now I feel like an idiot. Why don't you just say
These
it?
are new, but you know what? These ones are. We'll use these for brunch when we start
Okay.
doing brunch.
I
These
still feel
are-
stupid.
I shouldn't feel stupid. They make them. A couple of grape tomatoes. Shrimp. Okay. Turn those up a bit. Now I've seen enough guys light themselves on fire when they try to
I will be over here.
get this, so we basically just set it up. A little bit. Some 35% cream.
I don't want to offend you. Is that what happened when the fire?
No, this is why I do this, so that it doesn't happen to me.
I notice your eyebrows are, for the most part, intact.
No, they're there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna warm my puff pastry up just a little bit.
Yep. Are you gonna let this reduce right down?
I'm gonna let it reduce so it's nice and creamy. I'll add a little fresh tarragon to accent the Sambuca there a little. I'll wait till it reduces a little more because spinach will freshen it up a bit, but put it in too soon. Once again, it's
just limp. It's
just overly wilted. Yeah.
If you're reducing something that's cream-based, how do you not burn it?
You know, I find that cooking with gas helps.
Yeah.
I find that whenever people try to do things like this at home, if they're not cooking with gas, just the direct heat or something, it's just.
Yeah. So like a glass top stove, it's a little more difficult to do it on that?
It is, yeah.
Are you a guy that likes to cook on open fire?
Always,
like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Coal and that kind of stuff too?
I don't have a gas range at home or anything, but I did at one point and I loved it.
Yeah. It's so much easier now. Back in the day, you used to have to actually build your fire and get the coals and all that kind of stuff.
I always like getting out there when I'm camping and still do it when I'm camping.
I'm a bit of a chef as well when I'm camping. I make the most excellent hot dog on a stick you've ever seen. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so that's probably nice and warm. Give it a little more reduction. Just grab my plate. The puff pastry. That's just about the right consistency we're looking for. Finish this up with a little spinach. Pretty much it. We're going to finish it with a little bit of cilantro greens.
Beautiful, simple, fresh, lots of color.
And that's our Sambuca shrimp.
So that's it for another episode of Ottawa Eats. Thanks so much for joining us. This is a beautiful restaurant with some beautiful food that we're going to taste in just a second. But first, where can people find you?
Well, they can find us at victoriasinthevillage.com or on Facebook, Instagram.
All right, all the usual places. And if you want to see some of the amazing things that they do, you should absolutely come in person because social media, as wonderful as it is, you can't smell and touch and see it. So thank you very much, sir.
Right,
really appreciate it.
Right.
Where's Scott, by the way? Is he?
He's kicking around in the back, I think.
Probably with his girlfriend.
Yeah, she's
probably mad.
She's
Do you think
back
she's
there.
mad? I think she's
I
mad.
can see her from here. She looks mad.
Oh,
She looks
okay.
mad.
I'm going to try the food before she comes after me. So thanks for watching Ottawa Eats. Until next time, get your own dish. This is mine. Amazing. That grill really adds such an amazing flavor to it.